Hello, everybody. I'm sure you've all been excited to see the awesome progress on V10 of Foundry in the recent developer streams, but there's been lots of warnings to not use it while it's in the prototype stages, and a lot of folks have seen those warnings and said,
What does this mean? Point of no return.
so today we're going to see why you don't want to just update to the latest prototype release and take a look at how you can easily try them without messing up any of your existing data. I'm going to be using Windows in this demo, but I'll break down what macOS users should do as well. First off, you don't want to use the normal Foundry installer to try prototype builds because with all the changes that come with early versions of the software, you stand a strong chance of running into bugs with both the core software as new features are built out and compatibility issues with modules and game systems that haven't had a chance to update to the latest version. Your data will also be migrated to be compatible with the new version, but there's no way to get it back to its original state, so if you were to try to swap back to the stable version, you may find that your worlds don't work anymore. Thankfully, there's an easy way to set things up to safely try any new version of Foundry VTT that you want. Let's get started. The first thing we've got to do is install Node.js, which is a library that Foundry relies on to run and works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Normally it's packaged with the application, so you don't have to do anything, but since we're not using the application, we'll need to install it ourselves. Just head to nodejs.org and download the 16.15.0 long-term stable version. Once it's finished downloading, run the installer, accept the license agreement, and you don't need to allow Node.js to install any additional tools, and then you can just press install. While the installer does its work, you can head to the Foundry website, admire the lovely new homepage, log into your account, click on your username, and head to the Purchased Licenses page. Once you're there, open the Download Version dropdown and scroll to the Prototype Releases section and select V10 Prototype 3 or whichever version of Foundry you want to try out. Then change the operating system dropdown to Linux/Node.js no matter what operating system you use. Then hit Download and wait for it to finish. As Foundry downloads, let's start getting some folders ready. Open File Explorer or Finder on Mac and pick where you'd like to keep your files where you can get to them easily. I'm going to use the Documents folder and I'll create a new Foundry folder and open it. Now we're going to create a folder for the version we're going to try out, in this case V10 or anything else that you want to call it, and open it. It's time for the last two folders. Make one called Code and another called Data. Once your download of Foundry is finished, open the zip and drag all of the files into the Code folder. When everything is moved, go back up one folder so you can see the Code and Data folders again. Now you get to feel like a hacker and use the command prompt or terminal if you're on a Mac. It may seem scary, but it's going to be super easy. People on Windows 10 or 11 can click into the path at the top of File Explorer and type cmd to open a command prompt in this directory, and Mac users can open a terminal, type cd with a space after it, and drag the folder name at the bottom of Finder into the terminal and press Enter to get to the same place. Now that everybody is on the same page, just enter node space code/resources/app/main.js space dash port equals 300130001 space dataPath with a capital P equals data. Here, we're telling Node to open the code folder we've got right here, and then go into the resources folder, then the app folder, and lastly, run the main.js file right here, and set our port to 30,001 so that it doesn't interfere with your Foundry application's default port of 30,000, and set the data path to use the data folder that we made earlier. If you see something like what's on my command prompt, that means you did it. Now you can just open a web browser, enter localhost 30,001, and you'll be greeted with a prompt for your license key. You can copy and paste that from the Foundry website and you'll be good to go. From here, you can use Foundry as normal without impacting any of the data you have in your normal install. As a matter of fact, you can open your normal Foundry application and see that they're not interfering with each other at all. To close your prototype build of Foundry, you can press Ctrl-C on Windows or Command-C on a Mac, or just close the command prompt or terminal window. If you want to see all of your existing worlds, modules, and game systems and whether or not they work in the latest version, all you have to do is right-click on Foundry in your start bar or dock, press Browse User Data, copy the data folder, and close the window. Then open the File Explorer where you had your code and data folders, Open the data folder and paste your data folder into it and accept any prompt to overwrite things. You'll want to turn the prototype version of Foundry off and back on so you can access your newly added data. As I mentioned, you can just press Ctrl-C or Command-C on a Mac to do so. Then, while you're still in the command prompt, or terminal, if you press the up arrow on your keyboard, it will bring back the last command you ran so you can press Enter and Foundry will start back up. Just refresh the browser and you should see all of your content in V10 ready for testing. For Windows users, I also have a little treat on how to make this easier. Open Notepad and enter this code, which I'll also have down in the description, so you can just copy and paste it. Then press File, Save As, and change Save As type to All Files, and make the name foundry.bat, and save it in the same place as your code and data folders. Once you've done that, you can just double-click on this file and it will run the command for you. The great thing is that you can also copy and paste the file into new versions, so when you want to test prototype builds of V11 or V23, it should still work if you followed the other steps of this video for the new version. If I come up with an equally easy solution for macOS, I'll note it in the description. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed trying out all the great new stuff in Foundry V10 like vision modes, the new journal system, core ping support, and tons more. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.